Hey, I'm back. So I am finally done. My dad he was like, yeah, how's it with the band and with work and everything? I was like, oh, I have some updates for you. I haven't talked to him in like a month or so he has no idea what's going on. So I was like, yeah, I have some updates for you. So I went ahead and told him basically, this is what's going on. Yay! So yeah, I finally bought cookie mix from the store. As usually cookie mix is cheaper than regular cookies, but that's because you also have to buy milk, eggs, butter, and maybe oil in order to make it. And so I was like, I'll go with this because basically I have those ingredients and I just need to use them. The only thing I ended up having to buy was butter, which was like $1.24. So yeah, I got that. I got muffin mix from the other place, so we're good. I'm gonna make muffins here and there. Maybe some more tomorrow or in a couple days. Ooh. Okay, please go. Go, go, go. There we go. Thank you. We're turning. Oh, yep, nope, I can't go. It'll be a few minutes. A bunch of cars are like, I get to go, because they don't have a stop sign, so yeah. I'm totally gonna go. Because all of them were going right. They weren't going like straight or left, so yeah. Yeah. Okay, so anyways, I did see the photos and it's like, oh, so pretty. So like, I'm actually wearing a v-neck because, you know, I thought I was going to be going to work, which never mind. It's okay. It's all good. The lady, she's actually really friendly. She got in, her hair was still in the curls, and then she got out most of the curls except for the one for her bangs. And I completely, like, I left in order to take care of stuff. And I completely forgot to tell her, like, oh, by the way, you have a curler right here. And then, so I forgot about it. And then I went to the store, got some stuff. And then I called her and I was like, hey, by the way, did you want, like, the Red Bulls for the overnight? She's like, yes. And she was, like, so happy and thankful. And, like, she's like, I love you. So, like, I thought it was sweet. And then later on I gave it to her and then she like did the heart because yeah, and then I also told her, oh, you have your roller, and she's like, hey, let's keep in touch, we need girls that are in support of each other. I was like, I love you. Basically. So yeah, I showed her a little bit of what I know, which honestly, like, the stuff that I know isn't much. She'll probably learn a lot more. So yeah. And then also I told my, like, yeah, so I told my boss I'll go ahead and bring by cookies tomorrow. So yeah, I'll bring by cookies tomorrow. I'll make them today. And I am gonna try and leave from the house probably about 2:30 or so. So that way I can get there on time for the for both shifts, basically, for the early afternoon and then also the second shift. And then I'm also going to leave some cookies for the overnight shift, of which it's just one person. I asked her where are the cookies or where do you want me to hide them, and she told me where. I was like, okay, I'll go ahead and place them there. So yeah. Stay safe, motorcycle dude. Don't be an organ donor. We need them, but don't be. Just, you know, don't be an organ donor. But yeah, so yeah, I like it, especially the colors and such. So I did want to give you a heads up. Let's see. So with me, because, you know, I like to plan and I like to, like, somewhat have plans in order. If I already have something in mind, that something may end up being like this, like, hey, you know, it may change to this or that. if I have it in the back of my mind, even like if I have it in the back of my mind that things are going to change. So let's say I get into a serious relationship in like next week, for example, by next Sunday. And it's the Sunday before I'm supposed to start classes. What I personally would end up doing is like I would basically go to my school and drop all the courses that I have. I would lose out a little bit of money, but I would basically, this is what I would do, is that because I understand, I have it in the back of my mind, this is what's going to happen, this is my main goal. Basically, I would drop out of all those classes and move wherever if need be. Now, let's say I get into a serious relationship by the fall, for example, and it's agreed upon that, like, let's say October or September-October time frame, for example, I get into a serious relationship, and it's agreed upon that by, like, as soon as I don't, like, I need more water. Let's say I have agreed upon, like, taking classes and everything. Whee! Yeah, so let's say I agreed upon, like, I was going to go ahead and, I understand that I am going to get into a serious relationship, and it's like, hey, I'm going to go ahead and get into a serious relationship, and there we go. Keep college clean, just can it. I was like, oh, that can it? But basically it means like throw the trash into the can. But yeah, so let's say, for example, I get into a serious relationship, and I sign up for class. I'm making up scenarios. I don't know what's actually going to happen. So I go ahead and sign up for classes, and let's say that by like December, it's like, okay, I've already signed up for classes, and I find out that, hey, you know what, I am going to be moving to another state or to another area, or even like a week or two before, like, let's say January classes start. Then if that ends up being the case, and I'm like, okay, you know what, I've already signed up for these classes, but you know what, it's fine. I'm going to go ahead and be like, I'm not going to do this at all. Basically, I'm going to drop out of the classes that I have, and I'm going to go ahead and move wherever due to the serious relationship. And that's simply because I am aware of what's going to happen. Basically, I planned for whatever is going on. So, like, as long as since I know, like, oh man, like, things change. Well, as long as I am aware how things can change, or like, hey, this may happen or that may happen, I'm totally cool with that, because I'm like, whenever I was a general manager, I was okay with most of the stuff that was going, or like whenever things changed at a flip of a quarter, basically, I was like, okay, I am completely and utterly prepared for this, because I had experienced all that happened before, and it's like, okay, like, I know what to do, I know, I know what could happen, I know what to do in whatever scenario is going on, so I'm okay with that. Like, I'm okay with things changing at the flip of a dime, or at the change of a dime, or whatever. So, just to give you a heads up of, like, with, like, the idea of what I have in mind, like, if it ends up changing where it's like, okay, I'm now in a serious relationship, I am okay with that. Like, I really honestly am okay with it, because I understand I realize I can't change my oil power. I'm gonna have to go somewhere else. Probably in the C of C for Charlie. So, or the city of F for Frank. Yeah, so I can go and do that. Go there, get my oil change, finally. I just keep dumping oil in it. I mean, it's good to have oil, but like, I need an oil change eventually. Yes. Sorry, I was like checking in my rearview mirror. I was like, are these cops going to follow me? Thankfully, no. But yeah, so yeah, I just want to let you know I am okay. I'm definitely can be very flexible, as long as I am told, like, hey, you know, one day I would like to, let's come up with a scenario. Someone tells me, hey, one day I would like to move out to Hawaii, and it's like, okay, cool. And they're like, you know what, I want to, and I say this only because, like, I mentioned before about Hawaii, and then suddenly they're like, hey, you know what, by the way, I would like to move to Hawaii, like, sometime this year. Okay, great. And then they're like, okay, so I want to move to Hawaii in 2 weeks. It's like, oh, 2 weeks. Okay, because I am, like, already kind of prepared for it, where I'm aware that basically I'll be moving to Hawaii in like a couple of weeks, I am totally cool with it. I am okay with it because I am aware, like, this is what's going to happen. So, oh, it's a doggy with short legs. I wonder if it's like a Corgi or a wiener dog mix. So, yeah. It's hot. It's very humid. So, yeah. Yeah. Also, in other news, my dad is not comfortable with the fact that I'm staying in my car. I am. He's not, like, shaming me or anything like that, but, or telling me you need to stay in a place. But he has mentioned about possibly buying some property or buying the house back that I grew up in. And then basically buying the house back, and then the deaf pastor can go ahead and live somewhere else, like live in an apartment. So there's that. And then, so there's that option. He thought about buying the house back that I grew up in. The other one is basically me, him buying a property. He suggested a couple acres, but I'm like, I don't need a couple. That's a lot of property. It really is. And then basically buying a camper for me, so that I could go ahead and stay in. Which honestly, I could have a little bit of running water. Oh, it's a doggies. They're chihuahuas. And then there's like a golden retriever, and yeah, that's definitely a golden retriever. But yeah, basically me staying on a camper or in a camper on like an acre of land or something. So yeah, I'm like, okay, like, yeah. I did tell him about the different options, like the me pay $550 for a house, or like staying at a homeless shelter during the winter. So I did not tell him this, and what it is that as I was leaving, because I was told the manager, like, yeah, you know, I told him what it's going to happen. I told him, like, he's like, yeah, if you want to stay here, just let us know. And so I don't know how much he would charge me. So I know, like, sometimes he'll do like $300 a week, which is about 3 times 4, $1,200, $1,200 a month, or he may do the $600 a month. I honestly have no idea. He might do it because I used to work there and he liked me enough. So yeah. But yeah, so he mentioned about that. So I might be able to stay there. I don't know. It just depends how much he's going to charge me. So yeah. But I'm glad I'm leaving on good terms. So yeah, can have a reference. So yeah. Anyways, I'm gonna drop some stuff off. I like the photos, especially the hair. It's really pretty. I was curious, and I need to make a note for these videos because I don't always remember like what video or like exactly what I say in each video. So I was wondering though, what let's see. Yeah, so I was wondering though if there is a part of you that is afraid of seeing me again. And I asked because of everything that we've been through, which like I can understand it. But if that's the case, are you comfortable talking, like, even if it's like, oh, you know, whatever, like, that way I know, I guess, what went wrong. Maybe there is something I can do to kind of help. I don't know. But yeah, or if there is anything I can do to make it easier for you, feel free to let me know. So that way it's like, oh, okay, like I can totally do that. So yeah. But in the meantime, thank you for being there. And yeah, let me know if there's anything else you want to talk about, and I'll respond. I'll be able to respond today. So yeah, talk to you later. Bye.